Have you ever met someone whose life feels like a movie, filled with dreams, struggle, success, and heartbreak? Today, you and I are going to travel through such a story. This is the Marshawn Kneeland story, told simply so you can learn English through story, feel every emotion, and improve your English while discovering a life that still inspires people around the world. Imagine a young boy standing on a playground in Grand Rapids, Michigan. He's not the tallest, not the loudest, but he has something deep inside, a spark that refuses to fade. That boy's name was Marshawn Kneeland. Every afternoon after school, while other kids were hanging out or scrolling through phones, Marshawn was running drills, practicing moves, and dreaming of the NFL. He wasn't born into fame or money. He was born into the real world, where effort is the only ticket to hope. Marshawn's parents taught him two things: respect and hard work. His mother, Wendy Kneeland, used to say, "Son, if you want something big, you gotta start small, but never stop moving." He took those words seriously. Even as a teenager, he was up before sunrise, training in the cold Michigan air, building strength in his body and focus in his mind. At Godwin Heights High School, his teachers noticed him not only for his athletic skills, but also for his quiet determination. In football, he was fierce. In class, he was humble. He didn't brag about his stats or shout about his goals. He just worked, every single day. By the time he was a senior, everyone in his town knew his name. He recorded over 100 tackles, blocked plays, caught passes, and made touchdowns that electrified the stands. But what truly made him special wasn't only talent, it was discipline. He would often say to his friends, "Talent gets you noticed, work keeps you there." That was his mindset. No shortcuts, no excuses. And that's what separated Marshawn Kneeland from so many others chasing the same dream. After high school, he faced the big question: what next? Many players shine in high school but fade in college. Would Marshawn be one of them? Not a chance. He received an opportunity to play for Western Michigan University. It wasn't the biggest college program in America, but for Marshawn, it was the perfect place to grow, to learn, to compete, and to prove himself once again. And so began the next chapter of his journey, a story of growth, of sacrifice, and of becoming the man who would one day wear the jersey of the Dallas Cowboys. College life hit differently. New city, new teammates, new pressure. Western Michigan University became Marshawn's new battlefield, not just against other players, but against fear, doubt, and exhaustion. The workouts were brutal, the schedule unforgiving. Morning practices at dawn, classes during the day, and film review sessions late at night. Most students partied on weekends. Marshawn was studying defensive strategies, analyzing his own mistakes, and asking coaches how to be better. During his first season, he didn't start in every game. He sat on the bench sometimes, waiting, learning, observing. But instead of complaining, he used that time to improve. He trained harder, watched tapes longer, and kept his faith strong. He knew that patience is a weapon when you pair it with persistence. By his third year, Marshawn Kneeland was no longer a rookie. He was a name. Quarterbacks learned to fear him. Commentators started to mention his plays. He made tackles that changed games and sacks that silenced stadiums. Each roar from the crowd pushed him closer to his dream. He once said in an interview, "Every time I hit the field, I remember my mom's words. She told me, 'Keep your head up, baby, and chase what you love.' So that's what I do." Those words kept him steady. They kept him grounded even as he climbed higher. In 2023, his hard work paid off. He was named second team All-MAC, one of the top honors in his conference. That recognition was more than a title. It was proof that his grind was working. By now, NFL scouts were watching. Reporters were writing his name. The Marshawn Kneeland story was no longer just a small-town dream. It was becoming a national headline. Yet, through all the praise, Marshawn remained humble. He often helped younger players adjust, giving them advice and motivation. "Stay hungry," he would say. "Don't chase fame, chase growth." Those words, simple but powerful, reveal who he truly was, a leader even when no one was watching. He finished college with impressive stats, dozens of tackles, forced fumbles, and a reputation for toughness. When he walked across the graduation stage, wearing his cap and gown, the applause wasn't just for his education. It was for the years of commitment, the bruises, the sweat, and the belief that hard work always finds its way. The next step was clear: the NFL draft, the moment every college football player dreams about. And for Marshawn, that moment was coming fast.
Draft day. Every athlete's heartbeat quickens just hearing those words. The day your name might echo through the speakers. The day your dream finally becomes real. For Marshawn Kneeland, this day felt like destiny. Years of sweat, sacrifice, and silence led to this single moment. Sitting with his family, dressed neatly, phone in hand, Marshawn waited. Each announcement from the commissioner made his chest tighten. Then suddenly, his phone rang. The room froze for a heartbeat. He answered. It was the Dallas Cowboys. "Marshawn Kneeland, we're picking you in the second round," the voice said. Tears filled his eyes. He looked upward, whispering, "We did it, Mom." At that instant, the small-town kid from Grand Rapids became an NFL player. The applause from his family, the smiles, the hugs, all of it was pure magic. That night, sports news headlines lit up across America. Dallas Cowboys select Marshawn Kneeland, defensive end from Western Michigan. Fans began searching for his highlights, coaches began crafting plans for him, and young players began dreaming of following his path. When he arrived at the Cowboys training facility, he didn't act like a star. He showed up like a student. Helmet on, head down, ready to learn. Veteran players noticed his humility and determination. He listened more than he spoke. He hustled through every drill as if it were his last chance. In his rookie season, Marshawn appeared in 11 games. He made 14 tackles, modest numbers on paper, but for him, they were stepping stones. Every tackle meant growth. Every mistake meant learning. He was just getting started. Coaches admired his energy. They said he had quiet fire, the kind of focus you can't teach. Teammates described him as the guy who lifts everyone's mood even after a loss. He had that rare balance of strength and kindness, something every team needs. The Marshawn Kneeland story had entered its brightest chapter. He was living his dream, inspiring thousands, and showing the world that effort never lies. This was also a perfect time for you, the listener, to pause and reflect. Because as you learn English through story today, you're also learning how perseverance sounds, how real determination feels. Let this story remind you, to improve your English or your life, consistency is the secret key. October 2025, Monday Night Football. Millions of fans watching. Marshawn Kneeland runs onto the field wearing his Cowboys jersey, the bright stadium lights gleaming off his helmet. The crowd roars. It's a moment he had imagined since childhood. Mid-game, something spectacular happens. The Cowboys block a punt, and the football bounces toward the end zone. Marshawn dives, arms outstretched, grabs the ball, and scores his very first NFL touchdown. The crowd erupts. His teammates rush toward him, shouting, laughing, lifting him into the air. He looks up, pointing to the sky, whispering again, "For you, Mom." That necklace around his neck, it held his mother's ashes. He wore it every game to feel her presence. When he held that football tight against his chest, it wasn't just victory, it was connection. It was love and memory woven into one heartbeat. Reporters later wrote, Marshawn Kneeland's story is one of pure inspiration, a young man fulfilling his late mother's dream. It was at that moment the happiest week of his life. But sometimes, behind the brightest smiles, shadows hide. Only days after that unforgettable touchdown, tragedy struck. In early November 2025, Marshawn's car was found crashed near Frisco, Texas. He was just 24. Authorities confirmed his passing, and the world fell silent. His teammates were in disbelief. Fans cried. Social media flooded with tributes, prayers, and heartbreak. No one wanted to believe that the same young man who'd been laughing on the field was now gone. Later reports revealed that he had been struggling privately, coping with emotional pain after losing his mother and facing immense pressure as a professional athlete. His girlfriend had reached out, worried after receiving goodbye messages. Sadly, help arrived too late. This part of the Marshawn Kneeland story isn't easy to tell, but it's real. And sometimes, learning through real stories helps us grow, not only to improve our English, but to understand the world around us. Life teaches us that success doesn't always protect us from sadness. Even strong people need support, love, and someone to talk to. If you ever feel alone, remember, reaching out is not weakness, it's strength.
Marshawn's journey leaves us with lessons deeper than statistics or touchdowns. Lesson 1. Dream big, but stay grounded. He dreamed beyond limits, but stayed humble through every stage. He knew fame fades, but character stays. So as you learn English through story, remember his example. Progress slowly, learn daily, stay grounded. Lesson 2. Work hard even when no one is watching. In high school, when others rested, he trained. In college, when others complained, he studied film. In the NFL, when others celebrated, he prepared for the next game. That's the silent grind that builds greatness. Lesson 3. Pain is real, but hope is stronger. After losing his mother, Marshawn turned pain into motivation. He played for her, lived for her, and carried her love in every step. We can do the same. Use pain as fuel to move forward. Lesson 4. Success means nothing without peace of mind. He reached the NFL, earned money, fame, respect, but inside he was hurting. That truth teaches us to check on our friends, listen, and care. Mental health matters as much as physical strength. Lesson 5. Every moment counts. Marshawn's story reminds us how short life can be. Every smile, every message, every I love you counts. So don't wait. Say it now. Live it now. And here's the hidden beauty of this journey. By listening, repeating, and thinking in English, you're also training your heart, just like Marshawn trained his mind. This is why stories help us improve our English naturally. They connect emotion with words. So if you ever feel tired learning a new word, remember Marshawn Kneeland diving for that touchdown. He didn't stop when it got hard. Neither should you. Even though Marshawn's time was short, his influence continues. The Dallas Cowboys honored him with a tribute video. His teammates wore his number with pride. Fans from Michigan to Texas shared stories of how his determination inspired them. One young player from his hometown said, "I want to make the league for Marshawn." That's legacy, the kind that never dies. His life teaches us that greatness isn't just measured by years, but by impact. You don't need to live 100 years to make a difference. Sometimes one honest life, lived with purpose, can touch millions. So, if you're learning English, working toward your own dream, or struggling through something hard, remember this story. The Marshawn Kneeland story is more than football. It's about belief, courage, and the fire to keep going. When you learn English through story, you don't just memorize words, you feel them. You live them. You understand the rhythm of real life, of real people, of victory and loss. That's how you truly improve your English, by connecting words to the human experience. Now, let's take a moment to breathe. Think about what Marshawn's mother told him. If you want something big, start small, but never stop moving. That's not just advice for him. That's advice for you. Start small. Learn one phrase today. Practice one paragraph tomorrow. Keep going. Don't stop moving. Because every little effort you make, every time you repeat a sentence, every time you listen to a story, brings you closer to your dream. Just like Marshawn's training sessions brought him closer to his. So, as we close this chapter, remember him not with sadness, but with strength. Let his life remind you to stay kind, stay humble, and never forget the people who lift you up. And if you found inspiration in this story, show it. Hit that like button. Subscribe for more powerful life stories told in simple English, designed to help you learn, feel, and grow. And share this video with someone who needs a little hope today. Because stories live on only when they're shared. And the Marshawn Kneeland story deserves to live on forever. Thank you for watching, for listening, and for learning. You didn't just hear a story, you took a step toward fluency, toward understanding the rhythm of real life in English. That's how you learn English through story, through feeling, through meaning, through connection. And every time you do, you improve your English naturally. So, keep listening, keep dreaming, and keep believing that your story, just like Marshawn Kneeland's, has the power to inspire others. Until next time, this is Rising Story English, reminding you to dream big, work hard, and live with purpose.